All right, what's going on? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Apex Vision TV. Today we're gonna do part 2 or part 1. Not sure what order we're gonna do it yet, but we're gonna talk about Lotus Cars. This episode is gonna be about their road cars, what we think they need to do, and go from there. Real quick, one sentence: what do you think they should do to become relevant again?
Road car wise, Lotus needs to rebrand and more focus on the younger people. Run on Cententier is they need to expand their line. Their current lineup is terrible.
Okay. My sentence: Lotus need to make cars at the end of the day that have more power, more speed, without losing their weight advantage that their founder Colin Chapman was based off of. So the whole reason this whole CEO mindset came from me, why it's the ultimate dream for me, obviously, it started with the CEO while I was in college. His name is Danny Bahar, I think. Danny Barr. His big thing was, you don't have to be a car guy to run a successful car company, which obviously, doesn't that sound stupid to say out loud?
Yeah, and the fact that it kind of showed otherwise after he took over, what I mean?
Pretty stupid, right? So obviously, so the first thing he did, which wasn't stupid, the guy's not stupid. He's not stupid. He got high up. He became successful for a reason. Mm-hmm. He put the Lotus name everywhere, all these racing series, but problem was they never delivered. He made 6 concept cars, right? So at the Paris Auto Show, he came out with 6 concept cars. We got, I'm going to read the list to you. I pulled it up on my phone. We have the Elise, Elan, which was an Evora replacement, the Esprit, obviously, the big ticket for them, and Elite, which was an Aston Martin Rapide rival. The Etern, which was a hybrid sports sedan. See, they have two 4-door cars. Then they had a city car. So I'll put an image of those.
What is a city car?
Like
a Prius?
No, smart car.
No, yeah, so pretty similar. Gotcha. Like
really, really
just
smart.
Something that gives good gas.
Yeah, and obviously none of this stuff happened, but their current lineup, and I'll show you on the website. You go to Evora, you type in Lotus Cars.
Not to cut you off, but that concept, those car lineup that they put out, that actually would have been pretty amazing. Mm-hmm. Even if they only did maybe half that lineup, it still would have been such a big change for them.
That would have been huge, and we both think that the issue for them was lack of models, really. Lack of models, lack of updates.
It's also very hard to obtain. And they kind of price themselves out of the market sometimes. Yeah. Such a niche car.
So I'm on their website right now. It says the Evija and the Evora. That's all on there. You type in lotuscars.com, that's all that shows up, right?
I'm gonna be honest, what is the Evija? I don't even know what that is.
So the Evija is the and this was a great move for them. It's an all-electric hybrid. All-electric hypercar, right?
Oh, okay.
So the numbers are incredible. 2,000 horsepower, 1,600 kilos, which is heavy, but it's light for an electric car. 200 miles an hour, 250. So the specs are incredible, and the car, it's beautiful. It looks how a hypercar should look, and
it looks good.
I think that design language, they need to trickle this design language down. Because if they make all the cars kind of look like, and every company has their design language. Like I think Ferrari for a while, all the cars had the same headlights. But yeah, this is, we'll put images up right here. You won't see us talking, you'll just hear it. But yeah, that's their concept cars. Then the current lineup. So now let's talk about the road cars. So we'll start. I think I think as good as the Elise is, I think it needs more power and it needs to go down in price. Problem is, why buy an Elise, even used? Because yeah, it's a Toyota motor, right? So they don't have a new Elise model at all. So it's not like I can pull up the number, but I want to say it's a supercharged Toyota motor. But the problem is, these regular car companies of a lower tier, they make stuff that can fill that market while also being a more capable daily car. You have more space. I think of cars like the M4CS, the C43, not C43, C63, 507, Camaro SS108, Nismo GTR. Cars like this, and we'll pull up prices. I'll pull up prices and edit them in. But especially compared to like what a used Elise will cost, they have that power, they have that fun trackability while still being a daily capable car. While Elise exceeds, they're really small, uncomfortable.
Yeah, they're not practical.
They're not practical, and so you paying big money for a car that's really specific to something when you have other options that can be grade specific and a daily car and a cruiser or something you can take out of state and be okay.
I think a prime car to kind of combat that too is like now the new C8. I mean, now you have a hardtop convertible. You could put the, what is it? You put the hardtop into the trunk or bonnet area. It's mid-engine now. It's almost like everything you would kind of want from the Elise or Evora. Obviously, it's a bigger platform. It's heavier. I understand that Lotus focuses on weight reduction and nimbleness, but I'm just saying, dang near you're going to pay the same price for a brand new C8 as you are for probably a used Elise or Evora. So I just feel like...
Why would you get the older car that people aren't going to...
It's not as fast.
It's not as fast. It's not going to grab attention like that, like a C8 would, or something newer. Though I do think the best thing they have, and they need to hold on to it at all costs, because not a lot of companies do this. The manual, they do the Evora. The Evora is one of the few cars you can still buy with the manual transmission. I know you're a real big fan of saying that they need to go down in market. So do you think making the Elise cheaper while at the same time, what do you think of the Elise should do?
Well,
because I think personally that if it is, I want to say like a mid-engine FRS type of thing, because that's their entry-level car. And the problem is, you're looking at $50,000-$60,000, I'm assuming, to get one, right?
That's funny because that's like a pretty good example. Like the Elise and the FRS, of course, they're apples to oranges, but they're both using Toyota engines and they're both underpowered, and they both are just using their weight and handling to kind of like push the envelope. But at the end of the day, what does everyone do when they get a BRZ or FRS?
They mod it.
They try to make it faster.
They immediately mod it, and that's the thing. The Elise, I don't know how moddable they are, but I know it can be cheap to do it. Alright, so go ahead.
Well, I think like I kind of diverted from what you were asking. I think they need to come downstream a little and capture some of the younger crowd. Like maybe even do like an FRS type Lotus. You know what I mean? Something that's like closer to the, what is a new FRS cost? Like 25 or 30 or something?
It's around 30 grand.
So make something that isn't a direct competitor, because they may still be using Toyota's engine, but maybe like that 35 to 40 spot where like some of the younger crowd can get into it, make it a little bit more moddable. But then anything above that, like use some real power. Like I mean, it's something me and you've been talking about a lot. The 43 engine and the AMG 43 engines, I feel like could do Lotus so good. And you could almost put it in 1 or 2 cars within the ranges as they go up, because like you said, detune, maybe you do, I don't know how the engines exactly work. Like, can you do like a single turbo and then a I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
turbo or something, you know?
Yeah, something. So do you think instead of Toyota making an MR2, Lotus should try to be on them by, we want to stay with you guys, we want engines from you guys, help us make a new Exige, we'll do a joint effort just like Toyota did with BMW on the Subaru and Subaru on the FRS. I think that would be
really cool.
That would be a great move. So next, they need an Evora, right? So the Evora, I think the best thing for them, and again, manual gearbox. I would like to see them tackle the area right between the Cayman GT4 718 GT4 and the regular GT3, right? So 911 GT3, they do have the touring and they do have a manual option, right? So that is something that they're going to have to combat. But the Cayman GT4, we all know that they don't make it as good as they could because they don't want to cut it to 911 sales. That's where Lotus could come in and okay, so you got this over here, you got this over here. We're going to make something that's close to this in cost, but a bit near this in the 911 in power. So right, so they use a twin turbo V6 that's from either GM with the ATS or whoever to kind of tackle that region. I think that would be the best move for the Evora. Make it don't try to make an Evora ACR and an Evora this and Evora that. Just make one good model, make it reliable, update it, give it a decent power, maybe 180. You can do like a top speed, high downforce model, but I think if they keep it manual, if they keep it above the Cayman GT4, near the GT3, but undercut it, I think that'll be the best move for them. Anything you want to add on a potential Evora platform?
No, I think you kind of hit it on the head. Just something funny I was thinking about, like, man, imagine how sick people are that got those 911Rs and they paid all that money. Yeah. And then what was it, a year or two later?
The GT3 Touring.
Porsche was like, you know what? I don't care how much your car's worth. Let's go ahead and dump a manual into it. Another thing, which I think you're probably going ahead down the line. So what are we on the Esprit?
So yeah, the Esprit. The Esprit has always been a favorite of mine. On Forza 3, I think it was. I used to get that because I love turbos at the end of the day, right? So before turbos became super popular, there was a 3.5, which I like low displacement turbo motors that are high revving. So the Evora, I used to do Evora twin turbo V8 versus Ferrari 355 all the time on Forza 3. And the Esprit V8 is one of the best looking cars, period, to me. Pop-up headlights, real thick, real tires. And every time we go to a show, I hope to see one, and I really don't. Like, I've seen some nicer turbo Esprits, but never a twin turbo V8. And when I do see one, it'll be on here.
Yeah, they're super rare, and they very much feel like an F40 when you see them in person. Just kind of that.
Have you seen one?
Just like pictures, but it just gives me like that, that F40 feel.
That wedge shape. Yeah,
it looks
like,
good.
Lotus are one of the companies that are like pioneered that shape, the wedge supercar.
I really love the aggressive lines on the car. I used to always use it on Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
David may not agree, but for some reason, the more I think about it, the more I feel like the Esprit is a perfect candidate for some kind of hybrid powertrain. In other news, I randomly just learned the C63 is now only going to be a 4-cylinder turbo hybrid, which is crazy to me. But leading into that is now why I think maybe the Esprit could be something like the NSX. I know David had kind of some other ideas with just plain V8. Yeah. I think we may be able to do like a V6 hybrid, or if the car was light enough, maybe you could look into a 4-cylinder hybrid and just use that instant torque to get speed along the lines of what the NSX. The NSX is a technical marvel.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, it just wasn't accepted like some of the other cars.
As popular as, I mean, for those of you that might not know, the NSX is what, an all-wheel drive, 8-speed, has around 600 horsepower, hybrid in the front, hybrid in the rear. So,
it's like a tri-motor setup or something.
Yeah, it's some, they put some complicated stuff in there for sure. And like he said, I disagree. I think the Esprit, I think they need to be as light as possible. And I think they have a platform with the electric type of ring, but I think Lotus should just try to be the lightest car with as much grip as possible, mechanical and aero. You can do more aerodynamic grip later, but if the cars are light, they'll have mechanical grip. I think the best thing for the Evora to do is to not make please don't make another 4-liter, 4.2 liter V8. Reason being, let's see, Toyota, they're making one for the RCF. McLaren, they have a 4.0 twin turbo. BMW have a 4.0 twin turbo. Ferrari have a 4.0 twin turbo. Audi have a 4.0 twin turbo.
Benz has a
Mercedes. So like, if they try to enter into that platform, that supercar, almost hypercar area, I think the worst thing they can do is do another engine with the exact same layout as the other guys. I think, and they'd have to twist Toyota's arms to do this, is to do an Esprit 5 with the RCF GT3 motor. Do one and then do one even faster twin turbo. They'd have, like I said, they'd have to twist Toyota's arm and be like, hey, we really want to use this platform for the Esprit, but we don't want to do another 4.0, and we don't want to. And turbos are the future at the end of the day. So I think if they keep the twin turbo on the outsides, fat turbos, it's an old school V8. You'll have it'll sound different on the racetrack. It'll, and that's the thing about the RCF. Like, you had these old quiet cars. That RCF was a rumbler. So I think for the Esprit, making it unique from a displacement point of view is the best thing to do. Now, Toyota, they do have a lot of hybrid technology. Obviously, the Prius and stuff, which is, yeah. But when I think of Toyota and hybrids, I think of the LMP cars. So the TS030, the TS040, the TS050. They all have different hybrid powertrains. One of them is rear-wheel drive. One of them is all-wheel drive. And the other one is all-wheel drive as well, but it's a different type of system. So somewhere along that line, they could get it from them and use it, but I don't think the Esprit out of the gate should be a hybrid. I think it should have a unique displacement. And then Dom is real big on them making a entry level. Maybe last time we shot, you said an entry level sedan would be cool. You want to elaborate on kind of what?
Well, of course, we're just talking here, and you have to have a ton of resources to make all these different models me and you are talking about. But a part of me feels like, again, this is kind of pushing to either the younger crowd or maybe shift focus to the family crowd. Because obviously nothing that we just talked about in Lotus's lineup is going to be family focused. No one's going to get an Elise or an Esprit and load their family into it. It's just not possible. Most of them are just two-seaters. With that being said, I think a perfect, so I talked about the NSX. I think the next group of cars that I feel like they could kind of follow would be Alpha. I really like what Alpha did with their SUV. Then they came with the, I'm going to forget the names now. Of course, we've seen a ton of them at the shows. Yeah. But the sedan.
Yeah, we'll put an image of the car.
The sedan. And then they have the SUV, and they almost have the exact same design language And then they also have fast versions of each of those cars. I'm not saying to go out of the gate and do both simultaneously. What I'm saying is Alpha, Porsche, like you said, the Porsche SUV pretty much saved them. You know, how many other companies are now doing SUVs? You got the Cullinan, you got the Bentayga, the Urus or Euros, whatever you want to call it. You have Alpha's car.
Audi have that RS8 thing.
Oh yeah, now they're supposed to be like the Urus like competitor now.
I mean, and that's a lot of VW Group being VW Group, but having something unique and adding it to that before having something lightweight, and if it comes in and it's 600 pounds lighter, still have a nice interior, all that stuff. I think that could be great for them. And again, Lotus need to get it however they can.
Yeah.
And then another one, and I didn't cover it in the racing episode. I think Lotus need to make a Vision GT car, which is in Gran Turismo Sport. It's the fictional cars. SRT have one. McLaren have one.
The SRT one's crazy.
Yeah, the SRT Tomahawk, crazy. McLaren, Audi, like all these guys, they make something for them to sim race with, and I think Lotus, they're shooting themselves in the foot by they easily could do, okay, we're going to do an internship college program where we're going to hire the best guys from this group, from these schools, the automotive schools. We're going to pull them all together. They're going to say, hey, we needed an Elise GT3 car, an Evora GT3 car. Some of these cars aren't real, and make a car for Gran Turismo Sport, and then make a top tier Rebel fan car type of thing with GT Sport, and you could at the same time find potential future employees and get the youth back into Lotus. Like I said, I got into Lotus because in Gran Turismo they were cheap cars that were good handling cars. So they gotta get back on track, man. Anything else you want to add before I get ready to close it out?
No, I think we covered it all. Speaking of Gran Turismo, we need to get a Gran Turismo 1 and 2 remaster, man, for real.
Oh yeah, that would be dope.
But no, I think we're pretty much on the same page. We really do hope that Lotus can kind of projectile itself to something else, because right now, besides the Avia or whatever you showed me, I feel like they don't really have a lot going for them right now. So.
All right, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. We really do appreciate the support. Real quick, can you hand me that box over there? Yeah. We really do appreciate the support, man. And I know this episode is a little bit different from what I typically, and the wastegate, please. From what I typically do, but like I said, I have these visions and these thoughts, and I had to start putting it out somewhere. So where better to start than your own YouTube channel, right? Obviously, if you guys, please, man, we want you guys to weigh in and push the debate forward so I can share this. We can get this in front of the right people. As far as the road car goes, I did get some new toys for the GS. I was a stupid head and blew it with this. I'll add in the problem with this. This is a Tile 38mm wastegate. You might zoom in a little bit though?
Yeah, let me flip this out 1 second. Alright.
So
me your face now.
So yeah, I got this Tile wastegate, and reason being, I didn't want to run CX parts on the important stuff. I wanted the piping, I wanted the intercooler, I wanted the downpipe, but my plan always was to switch out the wastegate and the blow-off valve. So I bought some stuff. So again, this is a 38mm, and I'll go out to the garage and add it in. Problem is, all right, so yeah, here's my Tile wastegate, and there goes the manifold. Like I was saying in the video, the adapter might push it up too high. It's probably, guess I'm gonna try the CX one, get that tested. Hopefully I can get this sold for what I bought it for. You know, it's still open box. But make sure y'all. And then I bought a Grady blowout valve open box. I can't wait to get this car, project car, going, man. Project car / daily driver. I'm taking that risk, you know. Talking to my buddies, like getting the car going will motivate you to get this other stuff faster. And then I bought a PTP turbo blanket. We live in Arizona. Managing this heat ain't no joke. This is going to help that. Next episode with the Lexus, I think eventually we're going to do a mock-up on the turbo kit to see where it fits, but I'm going to have somebody do the oil lines, and I need somebody that's installed turbo kits before to help me do that. If you're in Arizona and you watch the channel, come help your boy out. Yeah, man. So that's where we're at right now. Apex Vision out.